What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Tech and Tactical. I wanted to do a quick update on some different stuff that's happening. And like I've said previously, I do like to go live once in a while because we can go a little longer. I don't have that 10-minute 4K limit like I normally do. Also, I did the workshop video in regular HD. Instead of the 4K for that same reason. I wanted to, have some more time, but still have pretty good quality. Honestly, I would have liked to have done it in 4K, and I might do the next video in 4K because I could probably keep that one to 10. But anyway, I wanted to update you guys on a couple of things. The first thing that I was talking about in the title is the Mannix, or not the Mannix, but I mean, it is a Mannix, but the S90V. And this is gonna a little lower quality than normal, but versus the XHP, CTS-XHP. You could probably almost make it out. Anyway, both of these knives, I really like both of these steels. I told you guys I was going to try to compare them a little bit. I really like both these steels. They both started very, very sharp. And I've been using them almost identically. I mean, it's hard. This is not science. Like, this is like bro science or whatever. This is a situation where we're trying to see if we can see a difference in everyday use. So if I had to cut, a certain amount of cardboard, I would cut like one full stroke with the S90V and then one full stroke with the XHP. Now, I realize, before anyone says anything, I do realize that these are different grinds. You know what I mean? They aren't really different lengths, believe it or not. The cutting edge is actually quite similar on these. So they are about the same cutting edge. So it's not really the cutting edge. I guess that's where the difference is. It's really in the, the grind, obviously. And also, even the angle, these Spydercos seem much steeper. I think I've actually heard that these are like 17 or something degrees, whereas, this looks like more like a mid-20s, maybe, or not mid-20s, but like 2022. So I do realize there are some similarities, but there are some differences, but there's going to be a lot of error in my testing anyway, admittedly. So they started to the point where they could push cut paper. They could literally push cut it. Neither of them can push cut anymore. So they will with finesse, both of them will cut paper. With a draw, like a draw cut. They're both about the same sharpness. So they both will cut paper. So I've spent about 2 weeks using both of these knives. As I said, about the same. What's up, Caribou? How you doing, man? Thanks for stopping in. So I've been using these basically the same amount for the same projects too. That's important. Like one hasn't been cutting, paper, and the other one's cutting rope or something. These are both cutting the same exact stuff, and so far they seem I can't differentiate them. So far in this test, CTS-XHP and CPM S90V are, to the user, from what I can tell, to be identical. I told you guys I was going to compare these two. So I'm sorry I don't have kind of more definitive info so far, but I'm going to continue to use these until they're relatively dull. And I'm going to try to really see if I can tell a difference. So far, no real big difference there. I wanted to update you guys, though, on that and just kind of let you know what was going on. Because I did put a video up, and then I haven't really talked about it since. Next thing I want to talk about, I did an update, or not an update. I did a tabletop review on the Launch 4, the Kershaw Launch 4. Cool little knife. You probably remember that my one complaint, was it was small and that the pocket clip was too big. And it stuck too far out of the pocket. So I contacted Kershaw and they sent me a deep carry. You can now see there's a deep carry on here. This is not the pocket clip that came with this knife. You know, so you do have a deep carry now. And it also sticks out a bit from the back. And at first I was like, well, I don't know if I like the, you know, the look of that. But what ended up happening is the way that it sits in your pocket is much better. And it's still, you can still pull it out just as easily. And now when you actually have a little bit more to hold on to, that's the kind of the side kind of improvement that I didn't even expect to happen. So now when you pop this thing open, you've got like this little area back here where you can kind of grip. And now I've got at least a 3-finger knife again. Because as I was kind of said in the initial video, this is like a 2-finger knife kind of. So I do really like, you know, that new pocket clip I got. You can get these right from Kershaw. I think they sent them out for free, I believe, to anyone. I did get this one. I did get this one for free. In fact, they sent me a few of them. This is the one that fit best. So I had the same, what I think was the same pattern, you know, the same screw pattern in the link. You guys might remember. And I got a deep carry for the link too. Now this is cool because this link does not have a black wash blade. It's one of these stone wash blades. This is an M390, by the way. You're not going to be able to see it, but that's M390 on there. So I thought it would look cool, actually, because he's like, oh, I'm sorry, man, I don't have a black one. But this ended up looking really cool because it kind of matches the blade. And as I said, it is also deep carry. So it's kind of, you know, kind of great in both regards. So both of these are now, you know, have great pocket clips on them, which were the two things, or should I say the things that I was complaining about with these, is that I didn't really like the pocket clip that comes from the factory. When you put a deep carry on these Kershaws, that really changes the way that they carry and the way that they feel. And I think it's much improved. You know, I like it a lot. I prefer that. So. Yeah, so I really appreciate that. I also got and I think I did show you guys this, but I'll show you again anyway. I did get the deep carry from Benchmade for free too. And this really improves the carry. This is the Freak. You guys have seen this a million times. But this deep carry clip really drastically improves the carry and the feel of this. This is a much easier to use pocket clip. Again, it's in that silver color, which is fine. I mean, I don't, you know, again, I kind of like it. It doesn't bother me. I know some people say it's flashy. I guess it depends on what you're wearing or where you're going. Maybe if you want it to be a little bit more kind of laid back or whatever. Oh, so I'm sorry, Carbo, I wasn't paying attention. Which thing are you talking about? The deep carry on this one? Or this knife itself? This knife itself is really cool. It's really just tiny is the problem. The Launch, yeah. I mean, it's tiny. I really like it. I'm glad I got it. And I'm also, the reason I got it is because remember, I don't like the black wash blade. And this thing this was the only color that I saw with regular stone wash. And I like the color anyway. It's like an OD green. So I love the color and it's the best blade you can get, you know, the best, you know, there isn't a coating. There's no, you know, there's no black wash. There is a stone wash, obviously. But then, you know, I didn't like the pocket clip. And the way the thing sat without the deep carry, the pocket clip, literally, this knife would stick out of your pants. Half of the knife would stick out of your pants. And it constantly felt like the thing was going to fall out of your pants. I know it wasn't going to because the clip was very stiff, but like it felt like it was going to slip out of your pants. It was going to fall out. Now it's like it nestles like beautifully in there. But, you know, as I said, it does stick out a little bit. So if you're not really into that. Yeah, and honestly, I wasn't really a deep carry advocate for the longest time. I didn't really care, you know, especially since most of the time I'm carrying my knife, like a knife on my side. This one was just on there, you know, so I walk around with a knife like that. You know, I carry it on my belt, especially in like casual, pants that I don't keep this in my pocket. So that's why I switched the pocket clip to the what looks like left-handed side, even though I'm not a lefty. So I got a lot of M390 right now. I never thought that you could get these knives, these Kershaws. I never would have guessed you could get these in M390, and they're awesome. And they're totally reasonably priced too, which is kind of blowing me away. I really think they're great. I strongly recommend any of the Kershaw, any and all of the Kershaw. To get back to the deep carry thing I was saying, I wasn't originally like obsessed with deep carry, but what happened was I like the way these clips function more. I like the way that they go in and out of your pocket more. I've gotten to the point where now I just love deep carry, but I didn't originally feel like I needed it. But now that I have it, I do really like it. So there's that. Burton, what's up, man? Do I have a store? No. I mean, I have the Amazon thing. I always post links, and that helps the channel. But no, I don't have any sort of store, unfortunately, or at least yet. And then the next, I did want to update you guys. The next thing, the topic that I think I even put it on there. I wanted to kind of update you guys on this knife in general. Again, this is the Knockout. This is the USA made blade exclusive Knockout in M390. And I wanted to give you guys a little update on the knife, tell you what I thought, what I think of it so far. I do have a regular tabletop, quick look review on this. If you guys haven't seen it, go back and check it out. But yeah, so the thing about this, let's start with the pros, and then we'll do the cons. The thing about this knife, the pro wise, is I do really like the feel, and this is also sort of a con, but I do really like the feel of this knife. I like the way it deploys. I like the way it is in hand, like the feel of the knife. Even on a pinch grip, I was pinch grip cutting a lot the other day. Really love it. Obviously, it's the best steel, or not obviously, but in my opinion, it's the best steel you can get. So the blade steel is perfect. But, as far as the rest of the knife, I really kind of initially liked it. It also appears to be one of the few speed safe knives where you can go like that. You can literally disengage it, and then there's no I don't think there's a detent ball. There's no detent ball because of the frame, and there's no little thing on there. Or well, some frames have. Maybe there is a little detent ball, but it's so close that you can disengage it and kind of let the blade, fall halfway shut, and then you can put your thumb up and finish it. Most speed safes, you have to put all this pressure to close it. Most of these Kershaw speed safes. Okay, so that's a huge pro. Another pro, I mean, the looks of this thing is awesome. So, I really do like that. But to get over to the cons, I definitely don't like the pocket clip. And I don't know why they're using this pocket clip. It is deep carry, but there's big screws in the way. Look at that. And the screws stick up so far, they're like almost touching. So it's not even deep carry because your pants can't get up in there. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not really in love with the pocket clip. I don't know why they put the worst pocket clip on the best knife, because a lot of people say this is the best Kershaw right here. It's the M390. I know, a little bit of a flaw. It really is a flaw, Caribou. I mean, that's they stick up so far. They're more than halfway. More than half of that is taken up by those screws. And it doesn't have that problem on the link. Look at the deep carry on the link. Look at all that room. I don't know why that's like that. It really it's a little strange, honestly. So that's kind of a con. Also, I don't know why there's thumb studs on this knife. If they're not that easy to use, the knife is a flipper. It's got a flipper tab, which is very comfortable and works really well. One of the better ones I've used. But then on top of it, when you're holding it and you're trying to use these thumb studs, the flipper gets caught on your finger. So you have to change your hand position, and they just get in the way of sharpening. Look how close up they are, or look how far, on the actual edge they are up. So they're going to get in my way when I'm trying to sharpen too. So I would have, and the link doesn't have them. There's no thumb studs on the link. You know, it's a Kershaw speed safe flipper. So I don't know. But yeah, I love it otherwise. Definitely great knife. And then maybe the other thing that I was going to say about Ergonomics that's a flaw, I was doing a little bit of harder cutting with this the other day. I was breaking down like a ton of like heavy duty boxes, and there was a bit of hand fatigue. You know, like the edges are not completely, I mean, it's really nice when you're doing kind of, you know, more gentle stuff, but when you're really digging in, this thing does dig into your hand a bit. But I really like it. I mean, overall, I still think it's a great knife, and it's an exclusive. So, you know, I mean, hold its value or whatever. I don't know. It's just a nice piece. I was going to say collectors, but I don't really collect knives. So I don't know. Richard, I don't actually know. I've never tried to remove them. You know, I'm assuming they can be, but there doesn't appear to be any sort of easy. There's not like, it's not threaded or anything. It's not like there's like some thumb studs have got like threading where you can, like a screwdriver. So all right, later, man. Caribou. I'm actually about to end this anyway. This was going to be a short one tonight. Just wanted to give you guys an update. New clip. I showed you guys the new clips. Oh, the work sharp. Last thing I wanted to talk about, and I did just put a video up yesterday, but I filmed that like 2 days before, or maybe it was a day. I don't remember. But in any event, I really love this work sharp thing. So this work sharp so far. It's the Ken Onion edition. If you guys haven't seen my review, go check it out. I just posted that video. It's like kind of like an initial thoughts review because I've only had it for a little while, but I really, really like that thing. So, you know, so far, I mean, you can very quickly get a knife really sharp with that thing. You know, it's no joke, but you have to know how to use it. I would like that thing. If you have those belts spinning full speed and you drag a knife through there, you could literally ruin a knife in 2 or 3 drags. If you're you know, not following the directions and not doing it right. So I can see why a lot of people, you know, say that the thing like couldn't quote hurt your knives or whatever, because it can. If you don't know what you're doing, I would just start a little lower speed. You know, make sure you've read the directions, you understand exactly how it goes, you know, how it works and stuff like that. So thanks again for coming. As I said, I do like to do these live streams, not necessarily because there's that many people that are live with me, but thank you for those who are here, because, you know, we can just rewatch this over again like a regular video also, but I can go a little longer. Like it doesn't matter how long it goes. So thanks for coming again. Please like and subscribe. Check out my videos. I've got some new stuff up you guys may not have seen. I do, you know, like the Launch 4, like I mentioned in this video. I do have a review up on the Knockout. And then I just did the work sharp stuff too. So, you know, go check some of that out. But thanks for coming to another episode of Tech and Tactical, and later on.